it's Anissa. Welcome back to my channel. I know I'm looking a little bit crazy today, but I'm sure you guys can tell from the title of the video why. In today's video, we did a full face of products that I am getting rid of. Basically, I do these videos to kind of give all these products that I tried, either the first time I tried them, I've tried them a couple times and I didn't like them. This is their final call. Products that are more expensive, I return. That way I can get credit and try some new products for you guys. And then other products I just get rid of. This makeup I do not give to anybody because I do not recommend it to anybody. I treat this makeup as if I'm giving it to you guys. I wouldn't give it to anybody except for the trash. And there are some good products in here, which was really surprising. I figured that it was gonna be like the last one where it was just a mess. If you guys are interested to see what products I'm getting rid of and what products I'm keeping, then please keep on watching. But before you go any further, please make sure to subscribe and like this video. I post on this channel every 4 days, so you never have to miss me for too long, but let's just go ahead and get into it. We're not even gonna talk about how my hair looks right now because I just feel like it's really fitting for today's video. We are gonna go ahead and dive right on in. And excuse if my tone is a little bit less excited than normal. This isn't even all the makeup I'm getting rid of. I probably have a whole nother full face worth that I wanna do, but I try to spread them out for you guys. That way you're not watching the same video over and over. The first product that I intend to get rid of is this e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. I just thought that this was too sticky. One of my all-time favorite primers is the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip, and I love that primer because it does have a nice tack to it, and it's also hydrating, but it's not so tacky that when you feel it on your hands, it feels like you just ate a super sticky candy and you feel like you need to wash your hands. Ugh. Oh my gosh. And the scent, it's not even mint, it's like more mint chocolate chip. I do not like mint chocolate chip because it's too sweet for me. I love mint. Mint is one of my favorite scents. It feels gross to me on the skin. It is way too sticky. I'm sure that it has a great lasting power for makeup. This just makes me feel like I need to wash my hands and my face. Ooh, oh my gosh. It doesn't even really feel cooling, and it doesn't really feel hydrating either. I cannot. e.l.f. is one of my favorite brands across the board when it comes to drugstore or high-end. It's just amazing. It's really affordable. Their products are really good for the most part, but like every brand, they're not perfect. They do have their products that are just a complete flop, and that is one of those for me. I have so many foundations that I want to get rid of that I wanted to do 2 for this video. That way I can go ahead and return these because these are high-end and I want my money back. We're gonna do half and half. Smashbox Studio Skin Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. The second one is this Huda Beauty Foundation Stick. I was not big fans of either one of these. I have reviews on both of them on my channel. I will leave the playlist that they are in right up here for you guys. That way you can watch them. This one oxidizes so badly. It brings out all of the texture in my skin. It does have full coverage, but I don't like it. This, I had to work really hard to get it to work on my skin. It's not super blendable. You just have to work really hard. And with certain products that I used, it didn't do good. If you guys want to know full in-depth reviews of these, like I said, I have reviews on both of them. I'm gonna go ahead and do this side first because I cannot use a sponge with this. Felt like I was giving myself premature wrinkles when doing so. It has a nice consistency. It goes onto the skin really easily. I do realize this is a little bit darker than me. I'm sure you guys have all struggled with trying to match yourself as far as foundation goes in the middle of a pandemic. It is not the easiest thing to do. For the most part, I really do like full coverage. And with this, even after 2 to 3 layers, I still was not getting full coverage. It accentuates my texture. I will go ahead and put a video of what my skin looks like. Was really sad that I didn't like this foundation because I love their Fox filter, which I know that they just came out with a completely new formula for that. So I may go ahead and do a review on that. Let me know if that's something you guys want to see. I think I've done one other one that I'll link up here. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this. This gives me nightmares. I'm going to use this Morphe sponge because I'm also getting rid of this for this side of my face. This sponge is a little bit more firm than what I like my sponges to be. I'm such a big fan of the e.l.f. sponges because they're so super soft. The only disadvantage with softer sponges is they do tend to absorb a little bit more of your product, but I think they just give me a better finish. I think they feel better going onto the skin, and they're not as harsh, and they're really gentle. But you know, that's all a preference thing. So it's not that this is bad. It's just not something that I would reach for, and I have enough sponges as it is. Try to declutter them to where I, you know, get rid of the ones that I'm not reaching for. And I say this in every complexion review that I do. I do not expect a foundation to get rid of my texture, but I do expect it to not make it look worse. And both of these foundations did just that for me. A little bit out of order today because I have an eyebrow product, but I don't have anything to carve them out with. Dries down to a nice matte finish. Me and her just did not get along. And it hasn't oxidized yet, but you just wait, sister, it's going to. If anything though, this side of my face looks better than this side. Me and that Huda Beauty foundation, I am also going to be decluttering this e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer, and this is in the color Deep 50W. I didn't think that this was bad, but I need a lighter shade than this if I'm going to use it. If you're somebody who likes lighter concealers and coverage, you would like this. I used this in the full face of e.l.f. products that I used. I feel like when I use denser sponges, they feel more dry to me. They don't give that like cooling effect. It blends out to be pretty. It's not bad. Some of these products I'm just simply getting rid of because it's not the fact that they're bad, it's just the fact that I have products that I like better than it. And to set underneath the eyes, I'm going to be using this NYX HD Finishing Powder, and this is in the color Translucent. Now, let me just show y'all. I've been meaning to get rid of this for a while, but it is not translucent and it's not something that you want to take pictures in. If you're lighter skinned, maybe, but if you're my color, girl, from far away, it sets the under eyes really nice. It doesn't even really make my eyes look mattified either. Taking into account my face does look horrible. I have not found a good translucent drugstore powder, so if you guys know of any that are CoverGirl friendly, please let me know. I would love to test them out and let you guys know my opinions on them. She's not the worst thing I've tried because I definitely have tried worse. We're not holding on to her. I try not to hold on to products that I would not recommend you guys buying, and this is something I would not recommend you guys buying. You thought this couldn't get any worse. Well, you just wait, sissy. For all over face powder, I'm going to be using this Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder Foundation, and this is in the color 420. So y'all see what it looks like in the pan, right? Okay, well, I'm gonna warn you right now, it looks nothing like this going onto my face. I have a very in-depth review over this powder foundation, but one thing I didn't do in my review, I didn't use this little thing that it comes with, which is something I wish I would have done. This is her last chance to redeem herself because this is way too expensive for it to have performed the way that it did in that review. I am going to use the sponge that it comes with. It has coverage, but you see, it does not look the same. I think I had a problem with it too because the matches when you translate it from the powder foundation to the liquid foundation are supposed to be the same and they're not. It's working better with this sponge than it did with a brush. I still feel as though this is not worth the money because one of my probably favorite steps in makeup is putting on the powder, because sometimes if I do have any texture that is on my face, it tends to kind of be seamless once I put powder on top of my liquid, and that's not happening here. Like you can see, this is a lot darker. We don't love her. We don't love her. This is taking me 20 times as long, even though it doesn't look as bad. I don't even think it's the fact that it's darker than me. I still don't think that I would like it if it was in my shade. On top of that, I feel like if you're a brand and you're going to come out with a powder foundation that is supposed to be like your liquid foundation and you know the shades aren't the same, don't name them the same thing because that's very confusing. Rely on that true shade conversion. That's not fair. Instead of sitting here and talking, I'll just show you guys what it looks like. Now, so splotchy and patchy, like not even just under my eyes, but like my forehead looks a mess. My cheeks, you guys can see all of that texture. Like powder is not supposed to do that. I done messed up. I forgot to cream contour. It wouldn't have mattered anyways because it wouldn't have showed up, but I am getting rid of this Morphe Dimension Effect contour stick, and this is in the color Effect 16. I'll just go ahead and swatch it for you guys. It's actually swatching a lot better than what it was. You can see because my foundation was dark, it wouldn't have showed up either way, and I already have powder on my face, so I don't want to put it on, but I just don't reach for this. I have so many other contouring cream contours that I reach for over this. So you know what, we're gonna go ahead and do eyebrows and eyeshadow. So I'm gonna do my eyeshadow first. I am going to be getting rid of this Anastasia Prism eyeshadow palette. If there's products that I like that are discontinued, which means you guys can't get your hands on them, sometimes I will keep them and use them personally, but I don't even use this eyeshadow palette. I really am not like a huge fan of the color scheme. These shadows in here are really not that creamy and pigmented. They're really hard to work with. I have tried to use this palette so many times, especially like the neutral shades, and it's just not impressive to me. We'll do two different eyes. That way I can show you guys like a neutral eye and a colorful eye. Underneath that, I am going to be using this e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer, and this is in the color Clay. I used to love this stuff, but I quickly learned, and I kind of mentioned over time that it was starting to dry out. It's like super, super dry. Me personally, I don't like using things that are super dry and drag on the eyes because your eyes is like the most sensitive part of your face. You don't want to do any extra tugging or pulling that you don't have to do. I really love how I'm wearing this tank top, and you guys can see how much darker my face is. For a while, I was spraying setting spray in this. I just felt like for as long as I had it, it dried out really quickly and it became really hard to work with. First, we're gonna do the neutral eye. I'm gonna take this color right here, Parallel, popping this into my crease. I'm really picky about my high-end eyeshadows because they need to perform better than drugstore. I'm just saying, like, you're more money, so therefore you need to prove to me why I paid more for you. I'm not getting rid of it just because it's a colorful eyeshadow palette, because you guys know there's a lot of colorful eyeshadow palettes that I love, and I really love when a palette like the Jaclyn Hill palette is colorful, but it also has those neutral colors in it, so it's very wearable. This is doing better than what it did the first time, not gonna lie. I don't know, guys, maybe this redeemed itself. Okay, that actually looks really good. This is why I do these videos, because sometimes the products like to show out and be like, no, don't get rid of me, I love you. Obsidian all over my eyelid. Okay, so these want to show out today and actually, I mean, perform well. Why does this look so good? I'm just gonna take more of Parallel, blend the two together. I'm gonna take this color right here, Saturn, and blend that out on the very top, Life Back. That way it's not so dark and smoky. Okay, well, she's pigmented. Was that a good choice? I swear to you, every time I've used this palette, it has never worked this good. Maybe she was off duty when I was using her. Like, she was like, no, I'm clocked out, girl. Sorry, come back another time. These glitters are gonna tell it all. I'm going to mix these two colors, Sphinx and Eternal, or Eternal and Sphinx. And I'm just going to pop that into the middle. Halo eye. Not bad, not bad, okay. The neutrals have redeemed themselves because I used 4 of those. I'm gonna go ahead and do my inner corner for this side too. I may be eating my words in a second. And then for the lower lash line, I am just going to use Parallel because Obsidian is a little, she's a dark one. There is fallout, but usually I don't even do my eyeshadow first. It's not something that personally bothers me because it doesn't affect me, but for those of you that do your eyes last, like after your complexion, that did have a good amount of fallout. I'm surprised that there's not more like black underneath here because that Obsidian is so black. I feel like this eye look is not bad. And while I was doing this eye, I was thinking about this eyeshadow primer. It really is sad because, like I've told you guys, the formula is not bad while you can use it, but it just dries out so quickly. It's ironic to me because my e.l.f. Putty blushes don't do that, and neither do my primers. I've had my primers forever. I did put setting spray in it and it wasn't awful. I tucked this away about a month ago, and when I put setting spray on this eye, it worked fine. I'm keeping this because I do like the formula, and although it does dry out very quickly, if you put setting spray in it, it works fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in my drawer. She redeemed herself. I would just disclose to you guys from now on, like when using this, it does dry out very quickly. So once it dries out, use setting spray with it and it will work fine. I say this over and over because it's so important to me that you guys trust my opinion and my recommendations. I would never recommend something to you guys that I would not use myself. I'm willing to make a product work, especially if it is on the affordable side. I'm willing to play with it a little bit more because it's not as expensive as a high-end product, versus when you're paying that high-end price, like the product needs to be up to par. I'm going back in with that brown. I barely used any. Hold on. I'm gonna take a clean brush to blend this out. Eden in my crease. That pigment is nice for that to be that light of a pink. It does show up. I'm going to take Throne with my finger. I'm sorry if you guys can hear that motorcycle or car or whatever. Like really, I'm busy. Can you not see that? I'm just gonna put this on the inner part of my eye. That's actually really pretty too. Keep in mind, this isn't with setting spray. This is just with my finger, so that's pretty impressive. This is the color that I just used. Now I'm gonna take this color and put it on the outer portion of my eye. I'm just gonna take a little bit of Saturn, this like burnt orange right here, and pop that in my crease because I just feel like my lid is so dark, but then there's really nothing on the crease part. This eye looks really bare to me, but I don't know what else to do with it, so we're just gonna leave it. Lucid, I'm gonna use Lucid right here. This palette did redeem itself. I'm just very on the rocks if I'm going to keep it or not, because this is something I need to think, okay, am I going to use this off camera? I will admit, sometimes I use products on camera and I don't realize that they are discontinued until I'm trying to insert those pictures for you guys and then I can't find it. I'm trying to be conscious about that. Sorry, I do that sometimes. This color scheme is just so not me. It has pretty colors in it, but I would only use the neutral colors in here, especially for like personal palettes that I use. I really only use the neutrals. I don't ever really walk around with pops of color. I think if this palette was not discontinued, I would keep it, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of it because I have over 40 eyeshadow palettes and I just don't see myself reaching specifically for this one, especially since I can't film with it. It's not bad, but it's not realistic for me to keep. I realize I have a lot of makeup, so I try to kind of minimize it as much as I can, if that's possible. I do have so much makeup, that way I can like rotate for you guys and you guys are always seeing the same thing. Of course, you guys see my favorites all the time because I just love them so much, but I try to rotate, that way you guys are seeing new products pretty much all the time. She's a goodie, but you know, she's discontinued. I have pretty much all of these shades in different palettes, so this isn't something that I feel like I need to keep because there's shades in here that I can't find somewhere else. While we're on the eyes, I'm gonna go ahead and finish them, so I'm just gonna use this Black Radiance Lash Lengthening Mascara. If I remember correctly, I use this in a full face of all black owned makeup, and I felt like it didn't really do a lot for my lashes. This is like doing nothing for me. You guys probably can't even tell that I'm putting it on. We're getting rid of her. The next thing that I intend to get rid of is this e.l.f. No Budge Retractable Eyeliner. And this is in the color Coffee. I just felt like this was really rough on the eyes. It's a very dry formula and I prefer something that is more of a gel formula, or I just use eyeshadow. It has a good swatch, but you really have to apply pressure. Try to stay away from those products that are super harsh and dry and require a lot of tugging. You don't want to speed up your aging process, so I would stay away from those products, and I would recommend you guys to too. Quickly, I'm going to go ahead and fill in my eyebrows, and I'm going to be using this Black Radiance Brow Definer, and this is in the color Soft Black. I actually really liked this when I used it. I think it was the same full face of black owned makeup that I used that mascara in. It has such a unique formula because it's a powder, but it's on a pen. I think the application process is the reason I don't like it. Also, again, with this one, it's not bad. It's just not my preference. I like my pomades and I like my pencils. Pigmentation is not the problem. It's more of a powder, and I think that's why I don't like it. I feel like you guys were zoomed in for a really long time. Sorry, I'm all up in your personal space. The blush I'm going to be using today is this ColourPop Between the Cheeks Super Shock Cheek Blush. It's funny because I actually bought another one of these in one of my other hauls. The formula is really weird. It's like cream to powder, and that's not what bothers me. I just genuinely think this color is not for me. And it's weird because I have other blushes that are this color and are fine, so maybe it is the formula. Don't ask me why I bought it in another color if I knew I didn't like this. Like, that's just me. I've tried this multiple times, and maybe this will be like the eyeshadow and, you know, decide to work today. It's so light. You guys, I don't even know if you guys can see it. I have the Patrick Ta, I'll put the picture of it. It's lighter than this, and it does not look like this. It just looks ashy, and it doesn't look bad on the skin. The formula doesn't, it's not weird. It's just simply the color. I can tell that it's pink, but it's not showing up. Let me swatch this. It's barely there, so not the most color girl friendly shade. I'm looking up close, and it doesn't look bad on my cheeks. It's simply just the color. The first highlighter I'm getting rid of is this Natasha Denona Glow Gold. Keep in mind, I bought this once in my Sephora haul that I will put right up here. I'll link for you guys. And it came broken. Well, you wanna know a funny story? I returned it and got a new one. This one broke too. So to me, that's just not a coincidence. I think that they are pressed too loosely, especially this one over here. It just is very glitter heavy. There was a point in my life that I did like a very glitter heavy highlighter, but I like more of blinding highlight now that you can actually see pigment. There's a difference between pigment and glitter. So that's why they say pressed glitters and pressed eyeshadow. The granules in glitter are bigger. You can see only speckles versus in a pressed pigment, it's going to look the same all across the board. Also, I would not recommend using a glitter-based highlighter if you have a lot of texture because it will bring out the texture in your face. To kind of show you guys what I'm talking about, you see, very glitter heavy. Glitter, glitter, glitter. See? Glitter. It doesn't look like that on camera, but I wanted to make sure to take a video for you guys. I don't even think they sell this anymore. This used to be like my favorite highlighter of all time. It is the Urban Decay Naked Illuminated in the color Lit. This is what it looks like. It's a baked formula. It's very glitter heavy. Now this one is not as bad as this over here. You can see there's a lot more pigment on this side of my face, but it is still very glitter heavy. I'll go ahead and show you guys. So like, see this? It does have a little bit more pigment than this over here versus this is just pure glitter. The last thing that we have is lips, and I have two different lip products right here. This is the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner, and this is in the color Mason. I like the color on this. Same with my lips goes with my eyes. I prefer a gel formula. I really, really love gel lip liners. I just feel like I have to work really hard and go back and forth. This is just a Juvia's Place, one of their lipsticks. This is just way too light. This is the color Mademoiselle. I'm gonna go ahead and use this Juvia's Place lip liner in Kola. This is a really super dark chocolate brown. I'm gonna use this to see what happens when I mix these two and see if I like that combo, because if so, I'll keep this and I'll just pair it with really dark lip liners. It's too light. I love these lipsticks. I think that is it, guys. It got better towards the end, I feel like. The eyes kind of helped me stay sane during this video. And the only thing I'm keeping out of this is the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer. I like the formula. It dries out very quickly, so you have to use setting spray once it dries out. I'm willing to make it work since it is affordable, and I also do like to keep affordable options for you guys when I do tutorials and stuff like that. I'm not going to be keeping this e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer, but I'm gonna get the shade lighter than it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Let me know what product that you guys have tried recently that just was not for you and you just wanted to ship it back and never look at it again, because I can definitely relate. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.